Friends, welcome to our today's session. Uh, our discussion is going on about international trade and commerce, and that context we'll be discussing about foreign trades of India, or you can say foreign trades in India. And this is not a new concept. So far as India is concerned, if you look at the history of Indian trade and commerce, you can find long back also in ancient times, sometimes maybe around what they- uh, even prior to 800 BC, then Indian merchants were involved in international trade and commerce. Right? You already know that the Bay of Bengal was used, you can say, or merchants were uh, going to different islands like this thing, Java, Sumatra, etc. in the Bay of Bengal, traveling different places, and they were doing trade and commerce at that point of time. So it's not a very new concept. But what has happened of late? What are the latest things we'll be learning? And if you look at your syllabus, which I will be showing you right now, let us have a look at your syllabus now. If you look at, yeah, this is what module 4 we are learning right now. This is organizational setup under foreign trades of India. Today we'll be learning about this organizational setup, meaning we'll be learning about few institutes which helps us in international trade and commerce. Okay, so let us learn that. So as you can see, these are the 5 major institutions and some ancillary institutions also will be learning. But in the first institute, can you read it here?
In India Trade Promotion Organization, ITPO.
This particular organization helps us in international trade and commerce. We'll see that. Then second is
Indian Institute of Foreign Trade,
foreign trade.
IIFT.
If some of you might have heard about this institution because they offer various courses and some students also prefer to go to that institute. Third institute is that. What is the third institute? Can you read it quickly?
Indian Institute of Packaging,
Indian
IIP.
Institute of Packaging that deals with packaging, branding,
Indian
etc.
Institute of Packaging.
Okay, next one.
Direct, Directorate General of Trade Remedies.
Yeah, Directorate General of or DG of Trade Remedies. This is a new name. In fact, earlier the name was different. Then next one, number 5.
Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority, APEDA.
Yeah, popularly that is called as the APEDA. So this is one more organization which helps in international trade and commerce. So we'll be learning about all of them. In fact, we'll be visiting to their websites and we'll be seeing what exactly they do and how they help in the field of export and import. First organization, as you can see, this is called as ITPO. That is India Trade Promotion Organization. So this is an organization which is set up as a Section 25 company. If some of you have studied Companies Act, you know Section 25 company means it's a non-profit company. It doesn't make any profit. So this organization is actually created by merging two organizations which was there earlier. One is Trade Fair Authority of India, which was conducting trade fair in India as well as abroad, foreign trade fair, and Trade Development Authorities. Both the authorities are merged, and this particular company, India Trade Promotion Organization, was formed. It is a service organization. You can see the organization logo is here. It's a service organization. We'll be visiting to their website. This is their homepage. Let us go there. After that, we'll be learning what they exactly do. To go there, what I'm doing right now. Yes, sorry. India Trade Promotion Organization. Just a minute. Let me take you to their website. India Trade Promotion Organization, if you look at, are you saying it? Are you able to see the screen? Google page? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is their website. So if you want to understand about this organization, you see about ITPO profile, board of directors, etc. You can see it. Okay, here career options are also there. So as you can see from the chart, this organization conducts various trade fairs. Okay, understood. Various exhibitions are conducted. Now, I'm going to share the PPT right now. What this organization does. So it organizes fairs and exhibitions both in India and abroad. Buyer seller meets are also organized. It organizes various international events so people can participate. So they get exposure in the international market. So products gets exported in various sectors. They do. This is the list of the things. If you go to their website and find out the list of exhibitions, you can find out Shoe Fair, Shoe Camp, International Trade Fair. See, AHAR is for this thing, food products and this hospitality industry. The International Leather Fair. Okay, International Leather Goods Fair. Okay, and also exhibitions in sports, automobiles, textile, books, health, Medicare, computers, metal, jewelry, broadcast cables, handicraft, engineering products, gifts, carpet, plastics, telecommunications, etc. They conduct various exhibitions. Okay, and through these exhibitions, new industries and new products gets promoted. Okay, so they helps in the export promotions of these products and services through these trade fairs. Okay, so they organize fairs. The second institution is Indian Institution of Foreign Trade. So this is an autonomous organization created in 1983. So it's not a company, it is registered under Society Registration Act. It is a society. It provides training in international trade. Okay, they also organize research programs. They do research in the problems of international trade and commerce and tries to find out solutions for that. They also conduct various surveys which are helpful in international trade and commerce. Okay, so you can see their website. This is their website, Indian Institution of Foreign Trade. Let me take you to their website also so that you can get some more idea. You can search here. Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. You can find out. This is their website. Okay, so as you know, this offers various courses. You see, MBA in International Business, MBA in International Business weekend courses, executive program, MA in Economics. Certain educational programs are there. They conduct. You see, these are the academic programs in international, the field of international business they offer. Okay, this is the list of the programs. So this is basically an academic institute. They also conduct research and also conduct surveys. Okay, you can see their academics, you can see various divisions. What is this organization? If you want to know, you can search here, introduction part. Okay, you can learn about this again. So let me show the PPT now. You see, these are the courses they offer: master's program in international business, postgraduate diploma program in international trade, executive masters. Then they also offer some certificate courses in marketing, certificate courses in international business. You can visit to their website and get more details. So these are the fundamental programs which are necessary or which are quite helpful to participate in international trade and commerce. Okay, depending upon the needs of the industry, depending upon the needs of the student community, they also provide various certificate courses. Okay, next institute which is helpful in international trade and commerce is Indian Institute of Packaging. Okay, this was set up in the year 1966. So the purpose of this institute is that the products which are participating in international trade, they should standardize their packaging and they should do proper branding. With that kind of intention, this organization was formed. So this particular institute supports technical consultancy or testing services on packaging development. They also give training and educational programs. Then they also conduct some these award programs, promotional award contests. They provide information services. Education and training programs of the institute includes postgraduate program, certificate program, distance education program, short-term programs like this. Let us visit to this institution's website, Indian Institute of Packaging, so that you can get little more idea. Yeah, are you seeing it? Indian Institute of Packaging. You can see these online admissions are available for these courses: 2-year full-time postgraduate diploma, diploma in packaging. Okay, so let me show you the PPT now. Okay, so they extend their support in packaging and branding in various industries, which include the packaging of meat and poultry products, fresh foods, vegetables, electronic exports, etc. They have a good reference library which is helpful. They also publish technical journals which are helpful. They offer these laboratory facilities and testing facilities for those products which are to be traded internationally. Here is one more institute which helps international trade and commerce. This is called as the Director General of Trade Remedies. Right. Earlier it was named as something like Director General of Anti-Dumping Duties, something like that. That name was there. Now name has been changed recently. This institution was created in the year 1998 to investigate the allegations of dumping and subsidies and recommend suitable duties to government. You know what happens? Many countries they dump their products. Dumping is a term which is used in international trade and commerce. Dumping means exporting something at a highly subsidized price and highly less price. Okay, suppose why it is so? Because the other countries might be willing to dump this product. They want to throw this product. Maybe that is due. There might be some environmental issues. They don't want to handle that product in their country, so they dump it at a very lesser price. When these products enters into a country at a lesser price, what happens? The importing country's economy gets disturbed. Are you getting the point? Are you getting the point or not? The concept of,
Yes, sir.
for example, let us say there is a country. Will not name the country. Now, let us say there is a country who doesn't want that leather processing should happen in their country because it will create a lot of wastage. It may pollute their environment. So what they can do, all the leather wastage item they will dump. They will send it to some other country at a very cheap rate. Okay, the other country may import those leather wastages. They may produce something out of that. Okay, and since the other country is capable of importing at a very lower price. Why low price? Because other country is dumping. Country A is dumping, is throwing it out. Okay, but it doesn't want to throw it inside their country. They want to export it. So the product which is worth 100 rupees, is selling it at 10 rupees. Okay, so the importing country got it at 10 rupees. So economy of importing country gets disturbed. The economy that means in importing country, their leather industries are getting disturbed. Because leather is worth 100 rupees, but this person is getting at 10 rupees. He'll producing some goods and services, goods, and he'll be selling it at a very lower price. This system is called as a dumping. One product is dumped, one country is dumping some products on the other. Understood this? If this thing happens, the industry suffers. So what happens to avoid this thing? The country, importing country, imposes a duty which is called as anti-dumping duty. That means duty is levied in such a way that import will become costly. How it is possible? Let us say product is worth 100 rupees, but one country is dumping it at 10 rupees. The importing country will impose an anti-dumping duty of 90 rupees. That means product will come to its real worth. Understood this point?
Yes, sir.
This particular institution that we are talking about deals with that. Okay, so as you see, this institution, Director General of Trade Remedies, which is called as DGTR, they investigate the allegations of dumping and subsidies. Suppose some country is exporting a dumping product or giving subsidies because of which products are available at a very less price. So this institution investigates and gives suitable recommendation to the government so that action can be taken. Let us visit to this institution's website, Directorate General of Trade Remedies. Just let me show you. Let me take you to that website. Yeah, DGF Trade Remedies. Let us see. Are you able to see it now?
Yes,
So
sir.
this is their website. You can understand what this department does about this department. Okay, these are some statistical data they have given showing the number of anti-dumping cases at various stages. They're showing that statistic. You can see that countervailing duty investigation, CVD investigation. That means sometimes government also levies a duty which is called as countervailing duty. Okay, to make the price of imported goods comparable with the domestic goods. This kind of duties are also levied by government. Similarly, anti-dumping application, pro forma anti-dumping investigations, all these things are conducted. by these institutions. Okay, CBD and anti-dumping investigations are conducted. They have certain publications also. Okay, so one can go to their website and learn about these things. Okay. The fifth institution is about APEDA, Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority, or APEDA. It is engaged in the export promotion and development of fruits and vegetables and their products. Also, they also this thing deal with meat and meat products, rice, wheat, floricultural products, processed foods, juices. Okay, it's in fact the promotional agency and does not undertake direct export. It assists the producers in exporting, extends assistance, but it does not directly support. We can visit to their website also. Okay, APEDA. Okay, you can see this is their website. You can have an idea what are the things they are doing. They have some publications. There are some specific publications also specific to some industries. You can get some general information about APEDA law, all these things one can learn from here. This is basically about agricultural products. Right. Apart from that, there are many other institutions which are also helpful in export and import. This includes, first of all, Export Inspection Council. This is an institution which is responsible for quality control and compulsory pre-shipment inspection of various exportable commodities. So they inspect and satisfy themselves that products which are exported, they're up to the export quality. Then one more institution is there that is Indian Diamond Institutions, right? Which is set up to strengthen and improve the availability of trained manpower in the diamond industry. The diamond industry is trained manpower will be available, so they'll be able to produce or they'll be able to design export quality diamonds. So this is the role of Indian Diamond Institution. That is one more institution which helps in industrial diamond export. Then Federation of Indian Export Organization, which functions as a preliminary servicing agency for providing integrated assistance to government recognized export houses, trading houses, as a central coordinated agency in respect of export promotional efforts. So, meaning this Federation of Indian Export Organization is a institution to ensure coordination with various departments so that products can be exported easily. This is called as FIEO, Federation of Indian Export Organization. Then Indian Council of Arbitration. This is one more institution which is helpful in settling commercial disputes among the traders, so that traders will be rest assured that in case some export related dispute is there, this arbitration council will be helpful. The Marine Products Export Development Council. This is one more institution which is responsible for development of marine products industry. So they support export and import of marine products. Then agricultural and processed food products. Export Development Authority. This is one more institution which focuses on agriculture products export. Then there are many public sector undertakings like State Trading Corporation (STC), NMNTC, which deals with metal and mining products. Then Projects and Equipment Corporations of India, Tea Trading Corporations of India, Spices Trading Corporation of India. Then one more thing, Export Credit Guarantee Corporation (ECGC), this is popularly called as. ECGC gives a guarantee on export. So one can, it's like an insurance policy. If someone is exporting something and he feels there is a risk that he may not be able to collect the export process, so ECGC offers a guarantee, and in that kind of situation, ECGC will be compensating those. So these are, as you can see, these are various institutions which support the export. Okay, got some idea about this institution. Many institutions are there. Okay, so primarily we talked about these institutions. Okay, ITPO, IIFT, IIP, DGTR, APEDA, and other institutions like ECGC we can spoke of. These are various institutions which helps in export promotion. Okay, got some idea? Yes, sir.
sir.
Now, let me tell you certain products which are exported by India. These are the list of the products which India exports. The various organizations are there. In a separate class, we will be learning about export processes. Maybe next class we will be covering that thing. But today, let us understand the products which are normally exported by India. Can you read out these products? Some of you please read it. Please read out.
Petroleum products,
Okay, then
mineral fuels including oil, gems, precious metals, machinery including computers, organic, electrical machinery, equipments, chemicals, iron, steel, and pharmaceuticals products.
so India is exporter of all these things. India is of course the importer of crude oil, but it exports petroleum products like lubricants, naphthalene, then something like sulfur gas, etc. India exports these kind of petroleum products. Mineral fuels, including oil, also India export. India is a exporter of gems and other precious metal. India also exports computers and many electronic equipments like this, organic products, electrical machineries also exported, equipments, chemicals, iron and steel, pharmaceutical products. India is the exporter of all these things. These are the products which India export. Coming to import part, now you can read out these items which are imported by India. Can you read it out?
Crude petroleum, gold, pearls, precious stones, petroleum products, telecom instruments, electronic components, industrial machinery, electronic components, animal or vegetable fats, oil, waxes, plastic articles, and medical apparatus.
So India is the importer of all these things. Right. So pearls, etc. are pearls and precious stones, etc. are imported as well as exported. Petroleum products are imported. They are also exported. So these are the something we have to keep in mind. And the value of export, as for this data is little old, but this is the data, latest data available. You see, export value, you see, you can look at this chart. Top 10 import sources of India. India imports products from all these countries. You can see most of the imports are from China. Next to it is USA. Then from UAE, Saudi Arab, like this. These are the various exporters to India. That means India is the exporter from these countries. Just have a look. Then you can see the top 10 largest export destinations of India. That means India exports to these countries. First, USA, then UAE, China, then Hong Kong. India exports to all these countries. Now, having understood these are the things which are exported and these are the things which are imported. Next concept is that we should learn how this export happens. But that we'll keep it for our next class. We'll be starting that thing in our next class about the export processes in briefly. Now, once again, I will take you to our syllabus. Let us quickly see what we've covered so far. Yeah, this organizational setup, autonomous bodies, attached and subordinate officers, these institutions we have discussed, but exact export process we'll be discussing about in our next class. Major exports and imports also I showed you just now. Yeah, the concept of export house, exit policy, and the export processes. These things we'll keep it for our next class. Okay, any query you have up to this? If you have any query, then let me know. Otherwise, we'll wind up the session. So no query, I think. So we'll stop here. Thank you very, very much.